Jimmy! Ricky! You! Smack Attack!
Hello everyone and welcome to the Smack Attack. I am your host Jimmy T. He is my co-host R to the B to the V, and we are live on Hammy Media Group's YouTube channel and of course on channelattitude.com after the fact. Rick, I can't even talk so loud because my voice is cracking. You can't tell already, but nevertheless, I'm surviving. How are you, man?
Jimmy, oi, is crack-a-lacking, ladies and gentlemen, because it is the biggest party of the summer. Jimmy, it is SummerSlam. Not just day. First time ever. It's 2 big days. SummerSlam weekend, baby, is here.
Oh boy, we got 2 nights. I mean, we got 2 nights of WrestleMania, now 2 nights of SummerSlam. Are we possibly going to get 2 nights of Royal Rumble? Come, maybe not next year, but the year after.
I'm okay with that.
It makes sense.
You know, give me a Rumble a day. You know, keeps not just the doctor away. Well, I don't know what the hell is, but yeah, hey, I'm for that. But you look at these 2-night extravaganzas, and I know there was a lot of pushback at the beginning of it because we were just so accustomed as humans. We are creatures of habit, and we love that one-night thing. But this is the world that we are living in. This is the new TKO WWE. This is their business model. I threw it out there on social media a couple weeks ago. People like, you're insane, RBV. That WWE, TKO, they're not in the wrestling business. It is just a product, a catalyst. They are in the big business of big events, streaming, and branding. So WWE this weekend, and it is a New Jersey, New York takeover. They got SmackDown. They got 2 nights of SummerSlam. They're going to be back at it somewhere in the area for Raw. They're competing with the likes of the Taylor Swifts we saw going against Beyonce and all that, and the other major sporting events that we see. That's where their focus is at. And here we are, buddy.
I do find it interesting, and I was saying this to you off the air before we went live, how, you know, they like to do their UFC events also on the same days that the WWE events are on.
Bundle it all together, man.
Right. I mean, obviously not in the same cities, though.
Well, we've seen them. We've seen them try that not a couple of weeks ago in Kansas City. They had a whole TKO takeover. They had WWE there. They had UFC, and they had the bull riding. You know, they had all 3 of them there for the one weekend. And if you can do that, and you look at, and this is actually a perfect time. We're calling it. This is on the fly today. We are in hype mode. We're gonna have a lot of fun talking about SummerSlam, the past, the current, the future. We got some headlines to talk about, but Jimmy, Stevie and Ben were having a great conversation over on the Russo brand, a back and forth about maybe WWE should have gone one night. And Stevie threw out some things, you know, from when he was working there about market research and all that. But again, this goes back. They want to take over a complete metropolis here as they are selling big events, and they're getting big, like, tax breaks, rental breaks, things like that. They want to show these metro areas that when they come to town, TKO, it means major dollars for everyone.
Absolutely, man. And they're liking the takeover stuff. They're doing it in my neck of the woods as well, where they're going to take over with Raw, SmackDown, and obviously Crown Jewel, which still feels weird saying that. But I'm excited, man. Look, SummerSlam on paper doesn't look like the strongest of cards, if you know what I mean. I mean, it's strong, don't get me wrong. But, you know, maybe it could have been done a little better. I'm still confused after last night, to be fair.
Well, we'll get into all that and say it's getting that hype machine, all that. I know we talked a little bit this morning about what we were going to do leading into the SummerSlam hype, and we had a couple headlines. We'll try to get on those, but I got to tell you, I've been putting this off. I wasn't excited about it. very low I don't want to say low expectations. Like, I think my expectations, I wanted to go in angry. Like, I didn't want to like this thing. And I was going to watch it tomorrow, getting ready for the pre-show. But I this morning, I was chowing down, little RBV eats out, get that fuel up for the day. And I turned on the new Netflix special, Unreal. Have you seen any of this yet?
I've been meaning to watch it. I haven't watched it, but it's funny enough, I knew the vet had watched it months in advance, and I got told to not say anything. Yeah, he watched it like months in advance, and I wanted to bring it up on the air. He's like, but you can't bring it up because part of that deal is that you're not allowed to actually talk about it.
NDA, buddy.
I kid you not. So luckily, he came out with it publicly on the NXT, on the Next Level podcast, and I was like, yes, finally, so I can talk about it. So no, I haven't watched it yet, but going by what the vet said, he's like, don't even bother. I will watch it though, but he said, don't bother.
That's what I kind of, and I'm going to talk about without giving away any spoilers for those. And there really aren't any spoilers. If you're listening to us, you're in the bubble, you got a basic understanding of how it works backstage.
Right.
They're covering some of the storylines that we've already seen unfold. I watched episode 1 and just hit pause here for the record as episode 2 was starting. But I did want to share just through episode 1, I went through like an entire gauntlet of emotions.
Really?
And immediately one of them kind of tied into one of the headlines we were going to talk about is this a show? And there's some reports out there, and we've been talking about here on our platform, other podcasts as well. Is Triple H, where is the focus in this company at on him? Is he trying to be the star? And we've, he's been making a lot of this. He goes into the Hall of Fame this year. He has that extended speech that he's got going way into the morning while people got to work. They've got the meet and greets to the $23,000 meet and greets with him, the 5 championship belts for $500 a pop. He's doing all the voiceovers. He's in the promos. But we did have some reports this week. You go throw that up there as well, Jimmy. I got it down there. That there was someone very close to Unscripted that had said this entire project is to paint Paul Levesque in the light that he is the Dana White of the WWE, that he is the featured star. He is the one driving the machine, and everyone else is just a bit player that can be replaced.
Now, do you like that idea? Do you think Triple H should be the guy?
I don't like the idea.
Right.
I don't like the idea at all, but I think where there is smoke, there is heat. I think there's a lot of truth potentially to this.
Well, like Jerome Hall says in the chat, is it ego?
Well, you talk about the ultimate political players in professional wrestling. He is absolutely up there on that Mount Rushmore, right alongside God rest his soul, Hulk Hogan, Brian Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels
the guys
right up there too,
that knew how to play this game.
I'm glad you brought them up too, by the way.
And if you're Triple H right now, and this company is no longer in your family, you're doing everything you can to make sure that you are strapped in for the long haul.
Yeah, but you know what? Is that also risky, should I say? Because, if things go wrong, he could easily just lose
we talked about that as well.
Right.
If everything goes awry, if even they don't want him in here and they sabotage him, he is going to be the one that falls on the sword.
100%. He's the scapegoat, 100%. And that's what worries me about him. Not that I care, but I do want Triple H to lead the way because I feel like he's probably the best guy for that position right now to move forward with the company. Although, to be fair, he's not perfect. We all, like a lot of the fans especially, like to praise him and whatnot. But has he been that really good, do you think? I think 2025 hasn't been the greatest year for him. He could have been a lot better, I think, this year. I think last year he was much better in terms of his booking style.
Well, there's a lot of the honeymoon is starting to wear out. And as they're over in the chat, they're talking about, this is talking about distancing themselves, continuing to wash their hands of the Vince McMahon era.
Right.
And there was even this week, Triple H was on a podcast and asked about that. And he got some heat.
Yep.
So, the woke wrestling audience that still exists out there, where he says, hey, we're just trying to turn the page and continue to build going forward from what happened with Vince. The company still has to run. It still has to exist. So, and it almost seems that because you do have the legend, everything that Vince McMahon did, and they're trying to create this same aura around Triple H so quickly. But when you had that transition, it was almost like Triple H and his team could do no wrong. But now we've had a year or so, and we are starting to see where it's very painfully obvious that they're not as dedicated or concerned with putting out the best television product. It is about making sure that they're moving asses to these metropolitan areas to fill hotels and restaurants and all that for these big extravaganza weekends, that they're charging astronomical numbers at the gate and somehow still selling these things out. And
That
the
blows my mind, dude.
merchandising pricing. That's so the company itself could say, we are running at an all-time best, all-time great that they've got going on there. But it still doesn't equate to, it's not the best product that we see. And I think a lot of people are starting to see it. So that honeymoon phase is starting to fade away. So, but on Unreal, as I said, I ran through a gauntlet of emotions. In the very first one, in the open, there is a line there. They're talking about Triple H, and it's kind of funny because they do go through, they tell you a couple, their ring name, maybe a couple nicknames, and then their government name. And
really?
In the Triple H one, JR, there's a cut from JR that says, it's all about Triple H. So immediately to me, I was like, oh my God, here we go.
Exactly.
But the show itself, if you're here listening to us, you're inside the bubble, you get a grasp of what's happening. But another thing that really jumped out to me was the realness and the connection with some of the superstars that they're highlighting each episode. And to me, it was almost like, why can't this be what we're getting on television? Just in that episode 1, I felt a new connection with not Triple H, with Phil Brooks, with CM Punk, the old dog,
Really?
with Rhea. I felt more of a connection I felt every bit as connected with her from what I've lost through their television, with a couple segments and real, like what it seemed like a real raw cut from her, no pun intended.
Well, she goes through, she suffers a lot of anxiety and stuff like that. It seems to like
the Rhea Ripley exists inside of her, but
right.
So why can't we get that connection? Some cheesy ass promo they got to go cut out there in front of the audience. If once we can take, pull that curtain back a little bit to let us step in and see the person, get that connection. What do they say in professional wrestling? The best personas are the real person just turned up to, 100 with a knob ripped off.
Yeah, exactly.
Even Cena, you get some insight, and you can even feel that little vibe of that dickheadish, persona that we're trying to get through right now. So I was, thinking again, why can't the actual product be more like this? And again, it is top notch, what you expect, Grand Slam, best in the biz production from WWE.
Really?
It's very,
wow.
I mean, but they never disappoint like that. That's what the company's known
of course.
for.
But see, now that reminds me, wouldn't this sort of alienate the fan base a little bit now that you said that a part of you would rather see?
I've got a little bit of that. And that was my fourth takeaway towards the end of this one. And I know they're talking over here on the beginning of episode 2, there is a introduction. I guess they're going to highlight Jey Uso here in his journey to WrestleMania. And it's him in a car, and he's talking real about what it means for his family. And you can tell, man, he's coming from the heart with this thing, and he's not gassed up. It's not, I got to go out there to get these pop moments that we sell to our advertisers. It connects you to the product. It's great stuff. It's compelling.
See, now I'm worried. I might catch it right after this show before obviously SummerSlam starts, just to see, out of curiosity.
Just to see some. So, and then also in there, and this is another thing, when you watch it, and each fan might be different, your involvement in the business is going to give you a different perspective of it. I really enjoyed and I'd like to hear, I'm going to talk to Ben about this on Monday. I'd like to hear how he feels about when he sees footage like this, but to see some of the backstage stuff and the inner workings, and not so much like the paperwork, the process, but the camaraderie. And even my level, man, I'm sitting there and I can feel it, like running shows.
Right.
Getting the, being the first one in the building because you got the key and you flip the switch to the gymnasium. And then when the truck pulls up in the rings there and you see the rails coming in the plyboards and here come the pillars and you can smell the ropes, all the sweat and the blood and the tears that have bounced off of those things. And you're seeing the ring come together and here come the guys and the girls and you're shaking everybody's hand. You're getting caught up. For me, what really always hit is when Beast walked through the doors. When Ted McNair came in and we would go, to our makeshift office and do our final rundown, card placement, what we're hoping to accomplish between each match, what we want the story points to be, all of that. It's a magical freaking feeling. And you capture a sense of that camaraderie. But,
Right.
even for fans, it might be, I always compare it to like walking into a baseball stadium and you get to smell the grass, man, that fresh cut, the peanuts,
It's the best
the
smell,
Crack
by the way,
Jacks,
yeah.
man, the hot dogs, man. It's
Right.
incredible.
Absolutely.
So that was one of those emotions that hit me while I was watching. But as you said something there, Jimmy, about it will it alienate fans. At the very end of that episode, it hit me again. What if completely pulling back that curtain and saying, you know what, this is how we do it. We're going to tell you all this. Now, when we actually do the show, can you just enjoy it? Maybe they can capture and create a new fan base. What if you're out in public or if someone finds out you're a wrestling fan, probably 2 out of 3 times, that's fake. Or they sit there and try to tell you how it's done, right?
Facts, absolutely.
So what if the whole point is, fine, instead of you telling us it is, here's how we do it. Now you're gonna connect with the people behind the characters when they go out there and put on that performance. Let all the other stuff go and then just enjoy that moment.
Interesting, man.
Could that work? Could, in a crazy mad scientist way, could that capture an entirely new audience?
I was just gonna ask you that. I was literally gonna ask you that same question. I was gonna say, does this lead to a newer audience instead of the actual fan base?
Yeah. Those of us that are so anal and just so ate up inside of the bubble, that fan base is already, working in the industry that I come from, in bars, there's a reason we don't advertise to alcoholics because we already got them. They're going to come and spend their first and their last dollar. You're marketing to the casuals that are coming in that maybe go out once a week, once a month, maybe just for the holidays. You're trying to draw them in.
Right. No, absolutely.
You don't advertise to the people that have a problem. They're going to be there either way.
100%. And the professor says in the chat, saying a new fan won't care about peeling back the curtain, but human interests and pieces for being invested in stars always a possibility.
Right. And it's not so much when they pull back the curtain there. It's not so much of, hey, this is what this guy's job is, a time guy does. But if there's an agent sitting there and you can see his body, all right, this is a little bit of a spoiler, but again, we all know how this works. Abyss. Chris Park's sitting there and he's agenting the match between CM Punk and Seth Rollins at the Netflix debut. And you got Pritchard. You got Pritchard sitting there. Minute 45 over, buddy.
Oh, God.
2 minutes over, buddy. And he's sitting there trying to relay to the referee. We got to cut out. We got it. All right. So they cut out the anaconda device. All right. We're on the go home. He's like, man, he's like, still over. And you can see this tension. So now, like, you're watching, like, man, this guy's just giving it his all to Abyss, and your heart's going out to him. He's just trying to make this thing. So there is that connection. There is that drama, that thrill, that people, those special interests that people are going to be interested in. That is another side of this thing. So maybe once we see that, and you've got that in the back of your mind, when we're actually just watching Raw, SmackDown, or sitting down for SummerSlam tonight, we can let go of some of that inside shit that we all think we need to know and break down and understand. and we
Oh,
can
no, you
just
have to
enjoy it a
separate
little.
it. You got to, man, because like you just have to. Like you just in some ways it's a different thing altogether. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And yes, you know we've all known how shit works in the back, like for many years, obviously, but. At the same time, you don't want it to ruin, say, a newer fan base even that comes along. You know what I mean? We're used to just being able to like just suspend that disbelief, if you know what I mean, and
There's
not have that.
and again, kayfabe doesn't have to. I love what Liz is talking over here in the chat. She's hitting some things about the female fan base. And she, when we're talking about people coming up and making fun of you for being a wrestling fan, she said how hard it was to try to be a female fan. And, her next one here was, females love a good reality show. The reality of it is, no pun intended, a lot of female wrestling fans were pulled into the business by the likes of like the Bellas and Total Divas. They saw those realities, those
Yeah, exactly.
reality-based television shows. They saw those and then came for the product. So those aren't completely wasteful inside of that.
I mean, I know women, for example, that only like wrestling, not for the matches, just for the storylines, like for the drama, and that's it. Like, you know what I mean? They won't watch matches. They just like the storylines. Like, even I've got friends' mums, for example, that just want to see the storylines and nothing more. They don't want to see the matches.
I'm guilty of that. One of my least favorite things in wrestling is the bell to bell. Unless there's a good story in that match that's being told.
Right.
I can give a shit less about a bell to bell move set thing that's just happening to be happening.
Well, you're not a real Ospreay fan.
I guess not. I guess it's not for me.
I was just fucking with you.
But Biss too over the chat, man. He is the absolute nicest guy. I got to meet him a handful of times. Got to sit down after shows with him. And just kind of pick his brain a little bit and stuff. He cut his teeth here in Cincinnati with the Northern Wrestling Federation, training under Roger Ruffin. Roger's wife, Big Mama, who I've got to promote shows with. So, I mean, he's rich into this area. This is where he came in. Back then, he was known as Prince Justice, and he wore a complete blue bodysuit. So everyone would just call him Blueberry. Blueberry. And he had a tag team partner, God rest his soul, King Kahuna.
Raspberry.
No, it was King Kahuna. And, and the King Kahuna was an awesome dude too, but he very voluptuous for a man, we'll say. All right. So when they would come to our local gym, my buddy Bath would like run over and try to give him titty twisters like over the rails.
Full nipple cripples.
Yes. So yeah, but
that's the worst, by the way.
Before he was a Biss, he was Prince Justice here in the Cincinnati area. But a great guy, great talent. Yeah. So, but is it possible? It just hit me as I was thinking, and I wanted to bring this up here. Could this be an outlet, an avenue to actually create more fans and persuade them? Okay, this is how it is. Now enjoy the rest of the show.
Yeah, I can see that, but they need to be in line time-wise, shouldn't they? You know what I mean? Like, have the show somehow, if they're going to keep going with the show in the future, just say, have it line up with the weekly shows. If they do it that way, then absolutely, I can see that.
I don't know what the shelf life, I think it's kind of something cool. It'd be interesting to see, not from, I would love to see like a test group of non-fans or very lapsed fans watching this and their reaction to it.
But do these especially the lapsed fans, right? Do they need to be like not privy to the backstage stuff already? Like they don't know anything about the back?
No. The way it's laid out, like they go over gorilla position, they clearly define what that is, what it means. So I mean, I got a feeling you could go in completely blind to this thing. Right, and you're probably going to have a much greater and deeper respect for what this genre, what this art form is all about.
No doubt, man, and it should. But, thinking about if they actually went with the timeline of the shows, it could screw things up too. It's a tricky one, man. It's kind of hard to like, it sounds good and you got me intrigued. I won't lie. Like the vet pretty much when he told me, he's like, dude, you already know all about this shit.
Yeah, but
It's probably best that you
again,
don't even bother watching it. Trust me, it's probably better you don't. Yeah.
if you're gonna right, if you're just watching it thinking, oh, what are they gonna teach me? No. But if you can watch it on a deeper level and try to pick some things up, and I think the connection's good, the production, I think you would like the production. I think you're gonna feel I think you'll come back with one of the same things that I did. Like, man, I feel a lot different about these individuals, these talents, these characters. Why can't you make me feel that about the programming?
That's what's gonna piss me off. I can see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
And that will be annoying for sure, because that's why they need to somehow incorporate all that.
For someone like the vet, he might have just been like, well, fuck, they just barely scratched the surface, because, he's there at the trenches at the highest level about what goes beyond just putting on a show. He's been there about what it takes to even get your ass to the show.
Yeah, no, you're probably right. That's true, man. And yeah, see, I'm curious now to know if he's actually bothered watching it. Like,
but,
I'm talking about episode 2 and shit.
Overall, my biggest takeaway was WWE Unreal. This is supposed to be showing the unscripted stuff. Was the greatest piece of scripted work they've done.
I was just going to ask you that.
2 decades.
Are they trying to kayfabe it within the?
It is framed. Yes,
okay.
Everything is framed in a certain light. So this is the best piece of scripted creative I've seen them do in a long time.
Yeah, that makes it even more interesting, because I bet you it stands out for you too. You could probably see what's truthful and what's not, if you know what I mean. Like, it probably stands out like friggin' dog's balls, if you get where I'm coming from.
Couponer said, maybe if she's highlighted on this thing, I haven't seen it yet, but could it change my mind about Tiffany Stratton? Maybe it'll explain why we should cheer her. I mean, there's no doubt she is a gymnast. She might have a great passion. Maybe there is a story that would make her relatable to me, because sure as hell the character that they're presenting doesn't. But
well, don't they touch on the Charlotte?
It's in a later episode. Like, I've seen the things with Charlotte crying, wondering, how she's going to be perceived. So I am looking forward to that. So I'm sure there will be some Tiffany stuff in there. I just haven't seen it yet. When we came in here, I turned it off. So I just started episode 2.
Are all the episodes already? Excuse me. Are all the episodes already up to watch?
I guess so. For the season is or whatever.
Okay.
Like I said, I went in with like the expectation that I wanted to hate this. Like, I didn't want to like it. But again, I ran through a gauntlet of emotions. I went through 4 or 5 different ideas that really jumped out to me. But that biggest is, could this be a new form, the evolution of the kayfabe to recruit a new fan base?
You know what would be even more interesting? What happens if this show draws the main shows?
Well, God, I mean, that ain't that hard right now. The main shows, Raw and SmackDown, they're phoning it in. They don't even care about them anymore.
And see, that makes it interesting, though, if that does happen. Now, Liz does say she isn't really featured as in Tiffy.
Charlotte stuff.
But they do show.
Maybe she's just not a likable person at all anyway. Shit.
Maybe. Bruce says you'll need a few hours to see all of it, Jimmy. Well, yeah, I'm not going to watch all of it, obviously, tonight. But what I will do, I will catch the first episode right after we finish Smack Attack, and then start watching SummerSlam. Because you got me curious now. Like, from the vet telling me don't bother to now, you got me sort of intrigued. I'm going to check it out just to give my own opinion about it. So we'll see. Yeah. After this, definitely I'll give it a catch. Do they go for an hour every episode?
Right around that, I believe.
It's perfect. All right. We'll see what happens there. I'll get back to you tonight about that.
It'd be interesting. You might see it completely different than I did. Because there were some things I took out of it from my experiences and perspectives.
But see,
in professional
you've got that
wrestling.
experience, though. Right.
Yours might be different, from your personal things. And Vet's could be completely different because he was at a different level inside of the business than I've ever been able to imagine.
Even though he was at a different level to you, you say it's still very similar, though. It's still the same thing. Even if you're at an indie level, it doesn't matter. It's still roughly the same basis, just on a different scale. Do you know what I mean?
Well, check it out. Maybe if you watch a little bit, maybe we will talk a little bit about what your takeaways were, Jimmy. Tonight
I
when we
will
hook back up
definitely.
for after SummerSlam, I guess it'd be a good time for the plug that there. We're going to be back 10 minutes after the final bell, after SummerSlam goes off the air tonight, Saturday night, night 1 and night 2. You're going to get a double dose of Jimmy and I coming up as we're going to kind of reflect and review on all the shenanigans and shakedowns.
And I wonder if we're going to get 4 hours too, by the way, Rick. But you're probably right, because if they start at 6, they're more than likely going to end at 10. They're not going to end any earlier than that.
Yeah, so we will check it out here. But Jimmy, hey, you know what? We had some other headlines. Screw them. They're not that big of a deal. Everyone else has been talking about them. Let's get into it, baby. Let's go full on party mode. It is the biggest party of the summer, night 1, SummerSlam. We are just a few hours away from the kickoff show, 3 p.m. Eastern. 6 p.m. opening bell for the big show here this evening. Jimmy, SummerSlam, man, one of the major 4, kind of built around Hulkamania, looking for some premium events to get that big top pay-per-view dollar around the Hulkster. All the years that we've had SummerSlam, Jimmy, I guess first, where do you rank SummerSlam as your favorite of the majors?
Look, I'm a big Royal Rumble guy. You know what I mean? So I'll probably put Royal Rumble number 2. But would you believe my favorite pay-per-view of all time?
I would put Rumble 1 for me. I like Rumble more than Mania.
Oh, no, me too, actually. Absolutely. But I mean, in terms of like how I see the structure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Rumble for me is my favorite pay-per-view of the year, period. It has the most intrigue for me and most excitement too. But put that aside, would you believe that SummerSlam 1990 is one of my favorite pay-per-views of all time? And when you look at that card, it's not that strong, but for some reason, top to bottom, as a kid especially, I thoroughly enjoyed it, man.
90. All right, so what are our highlights there? Yeah,
it was Hogan Earthquake. It was a double main event. Hogan Earthquake was one. And Warrior ravishing Rick Rude in the cage.
In the cage,
right, yeah. Man. I don't know why I love that. And Demolition against the Hart Foundation for the tag bouts, 2 out of 3 falls.
2 out of 3. That's a good one right there. That's good.
I don't know why, but I just love it. And Bruce, I loved Tuesday in Texas as well. The Undertaker Hogan rematch on that event. And wasn't it the Cobra where that bit Macho Man on that show, as a matter of fact?
We ain't talking about Tuesday in fucking Texas. It's SummerSlam.
That was a pay-per-view too, man.
I
back
know,
in the day, though.
But it's not SummerSlam.
But yeah,
I'm thinking those early ones. It's funny that you mentioned Warrior and Rude, that rivalry revisited there inside the cage. I liked it, when Warrior got the IC title back from Rude at
Royal Rumble you talking about?
No, it was at a SummerSlam. He lost it. He lost it to Rude at WrestleMania.
Oh, he lost it at the Rumble.
Then he lost it at WrestleMania when Heenan grabbed the Warrior's foot at WrestleMania.
It was when Bobby the Brain Heenan grabbed his foot on the pin at the Rumble for Rick Rude.
Wasn't at the quit saying the Rumble. It was at Mania.
Was it Mania? Oh yeah, Mania 5, WrestleMania 5, dude. Right? Wasn't it? Yeah, WrestleMania 5. You're right.
Yeah.
So I don't know why I got. The pose down was at the Rumble, actually, now that I think about it.
That was the pose down. And then you have the match, and then you have the return bout at SummerSlam where Warrior recaptures it. I prefer, me, I'm a big hype guy, big marketing. One of the greatest, I'm going to say, arguably the greatest, maybe number 2, besides Austin Rock, the WrestleMania 17 Limp Bizkit promo. But how about 1998 SummerSlam, Austin Undertaker Highway to Hell?
That was great.
That was a good one.
That was a great one.
The whole promo package for the Highway to Hell with those two, making her, setting that whole thing up. The year before that, 97, not the promo package, but just the theme. It was Bret Hart, Taker the champ, Shawn Michaels guest referee, and it was SummerSlam Heart and Soul.
Yeah, I love that. The poster was awesome too, if you remember. With Undertaker in the background, like a big shadow, and Bret Hart was like tiny, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And it said the Heart and Soul, which is a great sort of, man, those years were great now that I think about it. But
you got Triple H in the Rock Ladder match at SummerSlam, the birth of TLC. Yeah.
Right.
The birth of TLC, the first TLC was at SummerSlam.
For the IC bout too that time. That was a great rivalry when they were on the come up at the time. But people also point out SummerSlam 2002
Brock Lesnar destroying Cena. That was great.
Absolutely, man. there's a lot of SummerSlams that I thoroughly enjoyed. Even 2000 I liked, even though it wasn't the greatest card again, but it was a fun show. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's they seem to do it. It does have a little bit more of a party theme to it. It's a little relaxed. You have a lot more fun. I think we regularly think about the celebrity involvement at WrestleMania, but they've had a lot of fun with the ones at SummerSlam. One that I remember comes to note, it's out in theaters right now. The reviews are saying you laugh from start to finish. Comedy is back. The Naked Gun. Remember when the original Naked Gun?
Showed me that
when Leslie Nielsen was on the scene trying to figure out who the fake Undertaker was. That was a SummerSlam.
Oh my God! You remember that shit? Oh my God, bro! I forgot all about that. Now that you bring that up, that was funny, dude.
Right? You and I were talking last week. One of the fun gimmick matches when Bossman and Mountie, one of them has to go to jail.
Oh man, that was hilarious, dude. Was it you that was saying about
That's what the gimmick should have been between Solo and Jacob for this.
Dude, but imagine Solo in the jail, and it was you that brought it up because it would work, because the way he can sort of do comedic stuff, because I think low-key Solo's pretty funny when he wants to be. Him being in the jail cell, and doing the Mountie part, like the Jacques Rougeau part, would be hilarious, bro. You know what I mean? And
I think it would be
a little
great.
Easter egg. And
have an Easter egg where you have Jacques Rougeau sitting on, in a corner or something like that. Yeah,
exactly. Absolutely, man. That would be absolutely brilliant, man. When you said that, I could just picture it, and I was laughing just thinking about it. But unfortunately, that would never go that far. But they should, man.
And so SummerSlam itself over the years been a lot of fun, and hopefully we get that some fun moments coming up for this big 2-night banger, if you will.
Do you think WWE thinks of SummerSlam as the number 2 show, like the WrestleMania of the summer, pretty much?
What was that? I'm sorry.
Do you think WWE looks at SummerSlam as the WrestleMania of the summer and ahead of Royal Rumble?
Yeah, I mean, this is, when we look at the breakdown of the calendar year, this is one of your big hitting points. Now you're going to come off the back end of this thing into the fall, where you kind of go into a little bit of low, because people are transitioning, going back to school. They've got different activities, coming more homebodies, things like that. So yeah, as they kind of get geared up for the holidays.
Frank's Pickle Barrel's ass saying 3 nights. No, please don't conjure that, Frank. Let's not get 3 nights. Fuck it. Let's do WrestleMania week. The whole week, damn it.
Well, no, I mean, we already have that essentially. I mean, it was just up the road in, another venue in New Jersey for SmackDown. We've got 2 nights of this, and we're going to have Raw somewhere in the area. We already have those. They're already here.
That's true, essentially. But yeah, man, I'm hyped. And I know, look, even if we weren't looking forward to it initially, WWE is going to hit it at the park anyway, because they never disappoint in general when it comes to these shows. And their PLEs
they know how to do big events. They know how to do
absolutely
big events.
And like no one other, there's no other. There's no one else can do it like they can when they want to do it. So I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm absolutely looking forward to it. But speaking of SummerSlam, what the hell happened on SmackDown, dude? When you told me about that start, right? Because I started about 15 minutes late, so I was about 15 minutes behind. That's why I didn't respond to you right away about it. And then when I saw it, I'm like, what the fuck? Rick, what was going on? Please.
All right. So of course with Jimmy. So we'll hit some of the highlights here of SmackDown. We'll transition into the breakdown here for SummerSlam. But the biggest talking point, we open up the go home show for SummerSlam SmackDown last night. We got the 2 contestants, competitors, combatives that are going to be headlining, closing out Sunday night. It is for the WWE Championship, Undisputed Championship. The champ, the last real champ, John Cena, he is in the house. The challenger, Cody Rhodes, is there. They're out in the ring. We don't know what we're going to get here. This is the long-awaited rematch from WrestleMania. We saw him a few weeks ago there with the contract signing. Cena wasn't up for this thing. He's tired. He's been on the road. He's been putting in the hours, working his tail off. But Cody attacks him there. Forge, kind of forces his signature. This match is on. It's happening. And you know what? John wants to thank Cody. Thank him for opening his eyes. The past, he was talked into going down this path that he didn't totally agree with. The last couple of months have been making John miserable, but he's going to correct all that. He is going to rectify the situation, make it right for all the professional wrestling fans out there, because John Cena's not here to kill professional wrestling. He loves professional wrestling. He always has loved it. It is what runs through his veins, what makes his heart beat is professional wrestling. And at SummerSlam, John Cena promises Cody Rhodes in the WWE Universe that they're going to get classic John Cena, classic professional wrestling, a show for the ages. Jimmy, I was shocked here, man. They got you. They got you, brother. You bought this hook, line, and sinker. They got you.
But dude, I don't know, how do I feel about this? Because I don't know if they're kayfabing us, but then again, I don't think they are, because we heard rumors that they've heard those too. How do you fix? Maybe put those out there, Jimmy. Right, I know. I'm not an idiot. Trust me, I know that. That's why. Look,
well, a lot of people sound like idiots right now, thinking that this would just be a flip the switch turn for Cena in a go home show promo before SummerSlam. Have we not learned? Have we not been watching John Cena here on this final run here? He is doing anything and everything to go out on top. He is the ultimate manipulator right now, but his bag of tricks is running thin. And now he is here. He's trying to tug at the heartstrings of Cody Rhodes in the universe.
If they're going this, and this is legit Cena's babyface now, just like that. My issue is all that build.
That's not it, though. It's not it.
You don't think so?
Yeah. All right. Ifs and buts.
Okay.
My Aunt Sandy had nuts, but go ahead.
Nice. That's good. My issue is if, and it is about if and buts at this point. If he is babyface, just say, right? This could be a game for him to fool Cody for, blah, 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 right? But if it's legit, what was the point of all that build?
If that happened, then it means they are pivoting. That's what it means. And it means that they have hit an absolute bottom of the well when it comes to creative. If that was it, then there is no excuse for how piss poor their creative is. That they thought that that's what they had to do there.
They better not have this as...
That's, and I know there's also talk out there now of not now, but there has been of a potential double turn.
Right.
I think we can almost rule that out now. This is going to be a Cena I got you moment, because guess what? It's working. It had you. We've seen numerous people around Facebook and other groups of other people that think that are throwing, like, what was this all about? If you're just going to this is a got you moment. That they
I hope you're right.
Also, that they want to, they're trying to get that home stretch last, dive for the end zone intrigue going for this event.
All right. Now, if Cena is just, playing the game, literally, are we going to see The Rock be involved in this matchup?
Here, you know what? I was thinking about that. I was going through some notes here for it. If we get The Rock here, and I know it's, we heard ticket sales a little down. Last time we heard that, well, we need to get The Rock.
They're halfway sold,
whatever that case might be. I think they'll end up filling up tonight.
I do too, to be honest.
I know Ben and I were talking over on the brand this week that it was like an 80,000 setup. They've only done like 45 each night.
That's
something like that.
Too, right. Yep.
They're probably out papering the shit out of the town the last, 48 hours to fill that out. But if they try to include The Rock in any fashion here, I feel that it's a turnoff to the fans, because there's such a bad taste still in our mouths from the letdown of how terrible that finish at WrestleMania 41 was. The worst, arguably, in WrestleMania history.
I agree.
And it was the letdown that he wasn't there. So don't try to come back and make it up to us 4 months later.
Yeah, he'll get booed out of the building, even though he's playing the heel, but he'll legitimately get booed out of the building. Also, you heard about The Rock's heart issues, right?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you haven't heard?
What is it?
Well, I broke on the
What is
Smack
it?
Attack last week. Funny enough, I watched an interview with The Rock, and it's not. You know what's weird, Rick? No one's been reporting this, dude. No one reported it at all. But thanks to D, she found this interview. I don't know how, and it's new, where he's talking to a heart surgeon, right? And I had put the link last week. I should get it. I'll send it to you. You need to check this out. Basically, he's got like artery issues, man. Like his valve is blocked, but he doesn't want to. It's almost like he's in denial, man. And he's trying to get like, different opinions. And it made me think, is that the reason why he's not wrestling deep down? You know what I mean? Basically, people are telling him to get off the gas, but he denies being on the gas. Can you believe that? He was blatantly lying. I kid you not, bro. He was lying, saying, no.
Well, I mean,
I'm not on the gas.
what's
Bullshit,
the gas? There's different forms. There's different forms of what supplements and things people can take these days.
God, The Rock is on the horse shit, bro. That's for sure. Come on, man. At his age and being the way he is, come on, bro. He's on that fucking top end horse steroid shit. You know what I mean? I'm telling you. And that's the thing. And it worries me for him because his grandfather died. Of course, it's all natural growth. Absolutely. His grandfather died in his 40s and didn't want to go to the doctors. It was out of sight, out of mind type of thing. His dad obviously didn't die from that, but still, it seems to run in the family. You know what I mean? And The Rock, he comes across like in denial, man. Do you know what I mean? Like out of sight, out of mind. If I don't know, it doesn't hurt me type of deal. Do you know what I mean? It's like he was refusing to get it fixed, dude.
Well, I don't necessarily know. I don't necessarily know if it runs in the family, but it's because the family runs in the business, and they've all been abusing their bodies for decades and decades and generation, and that's just normal to them. So again, when you ask The Rock, are you on steroids? He might not necessarily be on a traditional steroid, something else he's got going on. And you look at the guy's diet. I mean, it's just at one time, the meat that he devours in a day because he's just burning through those calories. I mean, I'm sure that ain't good for the artist. I'm not a doctor or anything like that. So,
yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, it could be something.
Well, if there is something wrong with him, though, Rick, how does this? I mean, there is something wrong with him. He said it, but that's going to affect him in the ring, dude. If he was to ever make a comeback, and maybe that's the real excuse. He's just not coming out and saying it. Amongst the WWE universe.
No, I wouldn't put too much in that because it's not like he's going to come back and even have a part-time career. I mean, he doesn't need to come back and really wrestle at all. Yeah, but ain't like one match is going to drop him dead.
Let's hope not. Let's hope not, right? And yes, Universal, thanks for joining us. We are talking about The Rock, by the way. So, yeah, but look, I don't know how they're going to do this with Cena. It goes back to that. If Cena is playing the game, someone needs to, help him out to get that win over Cody, because it is a street fight, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's a New York street fight in New Jersey. Right? Is that what the guy is? But it is a street fight, so anything can go. Cena's looking for that opportunity. So it's the other side of this thing. A lot of some of the fans are getting worked on this thing. They're throwing their hats, hands up in rage over this thing. They can't believe this how WWE would do this thing. Storyline wise here, if Cody Rhodes falls for this, he looks like the biggest dumbass in professional wrestling history. So Cody is going to have to be absolutely ready. He's got to expect anything from John Cena here. He cannot be drinking the Kool-Aid of loyalty, hustle, and respect coming back into business. Cody's got to be ready for it. That's one for Cody. Two for Cody. Please invest in a cup because we're tired of seeing you get kicked in the dick there, buddy.
100%. And going by his expression, though, it doesn't look like he fell for it, to be honest, man.
I think he's hesitant, and he should be, right? I mean, you can't trust anything that he's got going on here. But I think that there's still a lot of intrigue there. You've still got the Rock stuff does Cody finally come full circle and sell his soul? So that there is intrigue, and that's what you want, especially with your main event, which is supposed to be your biggest selling point.
And just say another thing. Just say, and before we move on, just say it is Cody that turns heel. Just say. It probably won't be, but hypothetically, if it was, wouldn't that be piss poor as well if they actually went that way and just pivoted the complete opposite way?
Yeah, I don't see where. I mean, there hasn't been a reason for Cody to show that. He hasn't been pushed to a breaking point at that to that level, so it just doesn't really make a whole lot of sense for the story.
Imagine that, like Scott Woodford says, finger poke of doom on Sunday. They won't do that. There's no way WWE would do that, but it would be funny if they did. But I don't know what's going on. We'll see. I'm not convinced about Cena. It came across as too fake to be real.
So to me, the biggest thing with it is the question is to what lows, what depths will Cena go to finagle another victory here, to screw Cody out of this one?
Yeah, I'm intrigued, and I can't wait for night 2 already just because of that. You know what I mean? Part of me wishes it was the main event of night 1, but you don't do that. You do. That's the real main event, night 2. Looking forward to it, and I can't wait. I'm just extremely puzzled how they're doing this. That's all. I just want to know how it's going to go down.
Well, and we're going to have a long wait, but yes, there's a lot of intrigue. Maybe we'll get some pieces to the puzzle, some more clues along the way over the few nights. But Jimmy, all right, so we talked about Sunday night's big go home. We touched on that and what we think might happen or what we're looking forward to happen. So let's rewind and go all the way back here to what's going to be happening a few hours from now. Night 1, we know the card. I think it was last week. That just mentioned this in passing. You guys on the wreckage, I think he had mentioned this thing. And maybe you had some more time to think about it and throw this out to the chat. But Vet was talking about who cares what night these matches are on and why did they announce them? Is there intrigue for you on that?
You know what? Part of me, yeah, there would be. Wouldn't it be cool if you didn't know, sort of?
Yeah, I mean, to Vet's point, I think it was you guys that were talking, might have been with Ray, but, he had mentioned, like, we know the matches. We know it's a big event. Do we have to know each card each night? Like, are there people out there that are like, man, I really want to go, but I'm only going to choose one? I mean, if you're going, you're typically buying a bundle package.
Right. Yeah, I know I would be.
If you're going to watch it at home, you're like, man, I better make sure I'm home Saturday night, but maybe not Sunday night. Is it that big of a deal?
Right. No, yeah, that's true when you put it like that. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was the vet that actually said that, as a matter of fact, right? And yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting. Look, it's common sense though, Rick, because it's easy to figure out what's going to be night 1 or night 2, even if we didn't know what matches are on what night, if you know what I mean. You're automatically going to think Cena, Cody, that's going to be night 2 anyway. They don't even have to tell you that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
for you to figure that out.
That's your true main event.
Right.
But, really looking at this thing, and we're getting ready to run through them here, the night 1 top to bottom card looks a lot better with arguably the weaker main event of Gunther and Punk versus the night 2 with the Cena Cody Rhodes main event.
Are we getting tonight the Roman Reigns match?
So yeah, let's go ahead. We'll start with that one right there, Jimmy. Tonight,
right?
One of the matches on the card: Roman Reigns and Jey Uso will be taking on Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed with Paul Heyman. That match is night 1, Saturday, a couple hours from now. How do you see this one over the chat? Is they're looking at some other variables, things that are going on. Roman, who isn't a regular full-timer and would likely be taking time off heading into the fall. Kids going back to school, but he's got some filming coming up. So I think this one here, this one's tricky. Obviously, Roman, an absolutely made guy. Going back to Monday, I like that they stole his gym shoes.
Yeah, that's
ultimate insult, man.
Weird.
Getting someone's kicks, dude. No, man, that's some serious shit on the streets, man.
Hey, it happens. I know exactly. Absolutely, it happens.
You gang somebody's kicks, man. That is I've
seen it, man. I've seen that shit happen before to people. No shit, man. So
we look at the bigger story here, though. Jey Uso kind of floundering. He needs some direction, needs something going on. But I think ultimately, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, they need this one more than anybody.
They do, man. And that's exactly who I went with. I went with Bronson Reed and Breaker to win this match because they need that win. Reigns, if he's going to disappear again to do his movies and whatnot, it doesn't matter, man. He's Teflon anyway.
I'm interested, though, in the finish here. I think we would all agree here, Braun and Bronson need a win here if they're going to continue to roll on. Does Roman eat a pin here? We see him he took the big spot. He took the more of the beating on Monday. Will he eat defeat here to give Jay still some legs to run on? As he's going to be sticking around.
If he's a good cousin, then sure, why not? But I don't see it, man. Because logically they're gonna. You're right though. He should be Roman that eats it if he's going to disappear. But I can see Jay. Yeah, I can see Jay being like, nah, let me take the pin. You know what I mean? Some shit like that. So I don't know, bro. Like, it's intriguing. It's tough. But the thing is, if Breaker and Bronson do win, they're not going to win clean, surely, right? There's something's going to.
I don't think that
down.
doesn't need to be a clean win. Right. They're underhanded. They're conniving. They're mischief.
Is there a chance, Rick, that we get a new member?
I hope not. I don't think we need them. We don't need it. The focus is on these two now, especially with Seth out. Why do we need another member?
I'm just putting it out there because I can't see him getting like a clean. And when I say clean, even if they use some sort of, they cheated somehow, right? Even then, I still don't think it's that simple. Could we get a throwaway? Could it be a double DQ, say?
We could get something like that, an old classic, just throwaway finish.
Good old Dusty finish.
Well, that's not a Dusty finish, but
not that, but something along those lines, though. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean we could. I think. Okay, so we're in agreement here. The most important thing for the talents and going forward is that Breaker and Reed can't eat a loss. Or get a pin or a tap out. I could even maybe a disqualification that they could, but they have to look strong. I think they have to be the team standing.
I agree, but it's an interesting matchup. It's very intriguing because how are they going to go around this? That's what really intrigues me. So I did stick with Bronson and Breaker to win this. I just don't know how they're going to do it, man.
So that's our first big tag match, night one. We got a match with a stipulation here. Sami Zayn, it's been a long time, bro. Sami Zayn, Karrion Kross. They're in this recent go-around. They're knotted up at 1-1. So this will be a big deciding match here. If Kross wins, Sami Zayn must say the words, Kross was right.
God.
If Zayn wins, Kross must say, I was wrong. This is one of the stupidest stipulations I've ever heard of.
Thank you. I was gonna say this is childish as hell, dude.
This ranks right up there. What I always thought, even as a kid, were so stupid. Like,
yeah,
when they would like have the managerial services, like of a lady like on the line, like why? Like now they just this is beyond stupid. So just because Kross wins, Sammy just has to say something. I mean, not like he absolutely believes it or anything. I think this could be a banger of a match. The fans have been we've been on that Kross train for a long time here at HMG. He's finally getting some of them flowers. People are taking notice here. This stipulation just dumbs this match down.
They shouldn't have even done this. It does dumb the match. I mean, it is literally dumb. There's no need for it, man, at all. You know what I mean? Wouldn't it have been better if you're going to do dumb shit like that? Wouldn't it be better like that Zayn has to join Kross, and be his lackey of sorts? Well, you know what I mean?
Yeah, to me, that would be like, and I would word it because, again, it's like Zayn would have to do Cross's bidding for 60 days or 30 days or something like. But just
Yeah,
a
some stupid shit
verbal acknowledgement here is just.
Well, Bruce says make it a pole match, Rick. What about that?
Yeah. How about this stipulation is so stupid I want to beat myself in the head with a pole.
Jesus Christ. Ricky on the pole match.
Well,
pal.
but you know, a pole match makes sense because what has he been chasing him around? Well, you're thinking of the Russos. What has he been chasing around beating him with?
That's a great point.
Pole.
That's a absolutely.
So actually, Bruce, yes, that would have been a actual logical gimmick, a pole on a pole match.
A pole on a pole match.
A pole on a pole match. Hey, it actually would have made sense in the story that they've been telling you. The first one that can retrieve the pole can use the pole.
Why not, right? I mean, shit. But you know what, man? Yeah, this match stinks. It doesn't need it. It does dumb down the match for real. It really does, because I don't care who's gonna say you're wrong or you're right or whatever. It's irrelevant. You know what I mean? But who needs the win more at this point? I still feel Cross needs to get this win, but a lot of people say that Sammy needs this win. I don't agree.
I think they're both. Sammy's again, we're inside of who he is. He can sustain losses like this. Not a whole bunch of them, probably like an extended run of them, but that's what he is. He's that guy that gets beat down, and rises back up.
Absolutely.
For Cross, though, I would agree here, dude. We're both baffled that he's even in this spot, that he isn't somewhere higher on this card. Mega star, print money with him, but the reality of it is where he's at. I think Cross needs a big win on a stage like this.
I agree.
Not to say a loss completely destroys Cross, because he is such an incredible talent, especially what he is producing on his own. But this could be one of those defining swing moments to get Cross a big win. And maybe it's one of those things for Sammy. You could use it as to catapult him in a new direction, where we talked about how silly it is just to say, it's like a fake apology, like say, when a teacher would make you say you're sorry, but you damn well know you're not, but maybe when he says it out loud, maybe this is at another level that is, sometimes you say it out loud and it starts making more sense to you.
True, but Zayn brings up an interesting point. Cross is getting written off. If he loses, well, I guess because his contract is coming up in August, apparently, which is now. And if the reports are true, he hasn't signed yet.
Okay.
That's a possibility.
Okay, even if it's there. So let's just focus on Sammy, going back to what I'm talking about here, to give him more fire, more direction. Saying something out loud is like an affirmation. So maybe Sammy, when he finally says you were right, it starts clicking in his head that all this BS is going on around him in the company. So Sammy's been this lackey to everybody and is good guy that's just been playing by the rules and keeping the machine, staying on track, keeping the things going, that it's finally saying it out loud. What Cross has been trying to echo to everybody, that I need to do something different here. I've got to, and it makes Sammy snap maybe.
I could see him also becoming some sort of disciple, even. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but again, if the rumors are true, and if Dark Side Castle says, apparently that last update was WWE has not offered Cross a new contract yet. If it is true,
dude, again,
I know it's irrelevant.
You go to this unreal. They're changing the script. No pun intended. They're changing how you're looking at this. And they are going to use these sheets. All of this shit you think you're smart about, they're going to start using that to manipulate these storylines.
No, you're right. And they have been doing that. Absolutely.
They need to. That needs to be the new future.
That's the evolution.
Yes.
Exactly. The new kayfabe, shall we say, of the business. So you're right. They have to. But that's their fault too, that they got to pivot to that sort of way, because they're the ones that are knocking down the walls all the time. So they have to try to find a different way. And Triple H is kind of like that. He likes to play games like that, no pun intended, where he's like, hey, you marks. You know what I mean? You thought we're going to go this way, but we're really going that way. You know what I mean? So It's intriguing. It's definitely intriguing. I will stick with Cross though to get the win. That's who I went with, and that's who I'll stick with. And it's irrelevant about the contract because you're right. We don't know what the fuck's really going on. They're the ones putting out all this shit in the first place, and people are falling for a hook, line, and sinker. So let's see what happens. If he gets the win, it will make things interesting for sure. And you can easily say it's all bullshit after that.
And again, I don't think I think it helps him out a lot here. He needs a big win like that, but I don't think it's dead in the water. It's going to get over. And to me, it's more important for it. In the loss does a lot more for Sami Zayn as a character than picking up a win.
But with Sami, if he loses, where do we go from there with Sami? Even do we continue with his? I just
told you the whole thing.
No, I know, but we need a bit more. Like, how can I say? I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's just see. But I'm going to stick with Cross, like I said.
We've got the Judgment Day. Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez, the newly crowned champions. Just a few title defenses under their belt together as a team. They're going to be defending against the you're not my friend pair of Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. This one a little interesting because, again, if you want to go to all those sheets, the original plan here was maybe Charlotte Flair versus Alexa Bliss, but they saw the chemistry, they saw the reaction, and decided to pair these two ladies up, and now they are going for gold in the tag division. This one, again, this is all about the interest level here. Is she ready? Can she make an appearance? Where is Liv Morgan in her recovery? I think that is a big deciding factor in how this thing plays out. But I think either way, I think it's best for biz that we're looking at new tag team champions here.
100% Charlotte and Alexa Bliss go over in this match. And I think when you bring up Liv Morgan, she's got to be ready. It was only a pop shoulder, dude. Usually it's about, 6 weeks. You can even go between 4 and 6 weeks. How long has she been out for now, you think, Rick?
Oh, I mean, probably not that long, has it? I don't know. Maybe 2 months.
At least
maybe
4,
8 weeks.
You'd have to say maybe.
Yeah, so no, it's been well over that. So she's got to be on that. Ready. And they've made a point of Finn, mentioning it takes months and months and months. They can keep that surprise. So I think maybe she plays a huge factor into this thing upon her return. I know at one point now, just because she was so good in that heel role, she's going to be so beloved, so cheered, so embraced when she comes back. Lean into it. Her and Perez are going to go to that program. It's going to be interesting to see what, Raquel's role is going to be in that thing. But in either case, even if, just hit her music, if she just makes a slight appearance to start playing head games with the Judgment Day, I think right now they've done very little. Raquel, she's had the online conversation there with Mr. Nash, just talking about how she hasn't worked her size. They've exposed her. It's hard to bounce back from that thing. They're doing nothing with these belts. I think they're, with all of the women's talent available on this roster, they could seriously do something with that tag division. And if you've got two solidified stars at the top of it in Charlotte and Bliss, why not go with that?
No, absolutely. I mean, it's logical. It makes the most logical sense. And, they've got a good run right now too. They've got momentum. And you know what? This has absolutely saved Charlotte's sort of, I'm not going to say career, but like, it's kept her
re-energized it. It's re-energized it. It's revived it. She's got a new sense of energy, excitement. You can see that she's really enjoying this thing. There's a great chemistry. Run with it. And I think with the two of those, they stretch maybe even some Laps fans. They are familiar faces in your company. They can move merchandise for you. With the gold, it's a great image for PR stuff. Let's roll with these two here.
Absolutely. Let's do it. I mean, I'm down for it. Absolutely down for it. But it would make more sense also for Liv to somehow get involved, you know what I mean, and see what happens. Because it's the feel-good factor for everybody.
Well, and they want to create a big pop, so it's a big moment. Right. We do got other women's gold on the line, and I got to tell you, I could care two shits. I couldn't care less about this one. This is Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill. Neither one of them very likable characters. I don't think they're good representatives here. And that, my friends, is not a shot at the talents. That's just bad business. Bad creative.
You know, on paper, we should be intrigued by this match, right? Technically. But again,
Why?
yeah, the build, well, it's two studs really in the female division when you think about it in terms of in-ring.
It's one of the most
Jade.
It's one of the most unlikable champion baby faces in existence in the history of professional wrestling versus a terrible cosplay act that's more concerned about her eyelashes and adjusting her ring gear than even executing a simple pin attempt. That's what this match is.
True. Do you see Cargill winning this match, really? I know you don't give a shit about it, but if you had to give a shit about it,
probably. I think she is. I'm just looking at future storyline stuff here. I think there's more intrigue with Naomi with a belt, with her with a belt, and somehow with Bianca in the middle. I don't know here. I again throwing up my hands on this one. This can be my popcorn match of the evening.
Well, I don't see Jade winning just yet for some reason. So I don't know, but you're right. I don't really care about this match either. On paper, it looks intriguing, but the build has been so weak. It's just the two heels, basically. Who's the babyface? Both of these women haven't been playing babyface.
Here's the problem, though. They're both supposed to be baby faces in terms of what WWE is trying to present, but neither one of them are likable. They do not connect, and there is no reason for us to care.
What I do want to know is how good is Tiffy? If she can carry this match with someone like Cargill, and they can actually put on a banger, say.
Here is my hope. I'm glad you said that. You're talking about carrying this thing. No, I hope this match goes like 5 minutes, curtain to curtain. That's all we absolutely need from it.
Okay. Then if it's going to be like that, it's got to be Cargill, man. If it's going to be one of those matches, you can't have Cargill lose because that makes it look really weak, right?
Fine with me. I hope we've talked about it longer than I have to watch it. That is my takeaway from this match. But I will tell you a match that I am intrigued by, being a PR guy that I am. And I think this is going to be, and I don't think this is, I know this is the one that the world is going to be talking about as crossover. It's going to be hitting ESPN. It's going to be hitting TMZ. It's going to be hitting all the major news outlets. And that is Randy Orton teaming up with the one, the only, the global touring and recording icon, but the biggest in the world, man. Jelly Roll taking on Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. Jimmy, thoughts?
Well, this one's look, man. Logically, you think Orton and Jelly Roll should get the win, right? But when you look at the other side, Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre are the more accomplished wrestlers, if you know what I mean.
No one cares about that. This is a pop moment. This is about, look at what we've done. We are at the cusp of society. Everybody wants to talk about us because we got Jelly Roll. It's about creating that moment. It's about creating some big spots here.
Absolutely.
And that's what this is going to be.
No, 100%. This is all a big marketing match, if anything. But I'm going to stick with Jelly Roll and Orton. It has to be the feel-good sort of moment in this match, obviously. I just want to know how good Jelly Roll truly is. That's the thing.
Hey, you know what? Right now, let's go back to last night. And they show us where he's in the training session, and Paul and McIntyre show up. Just in that, and it got me thinking about this last night, is going back a couple Mondays ago, Ben and I were talking about the Trick Williams, Whoop That Trick, and Undertaker segment that closed out in NXT. And you got Trick that is regarded as one of the next top stars, breakout superstars in professional wrestling, getting a spot there with a Hall of Famer, the Undertaker, and the facials have been there. And he's sitting there selling a choke slam from the Undertaker, right?
Right.
And Trick's in there, you know, with it was kind of the NXT facials towards the camera. Last night, gets booted to the head. Jelly Roll sells that like it happened. He is knocked out, KO'd Roll at first. His first move isn't to go camera side and start spasming like he's having a freaking seizure. No, what does he do? He goes into a protect mode. He kind of lumps over, rolls over, and he is full drooling, knocked out.
He's impressed me. I'm not gonna lie.
Jelly Roll is already selling better in these last few weeks than
Trick.
the top stars in the development.
Right. No, you're right.
There is a problem. That's a problem.
That is a problem. That is definitely a problem, man. 100%. Yeah, I mean that, and now that you point that out, and I did listen to that show with you and Ben talking about that. Yeah, I mean,
and you know what it is though, because Jelly Roll is not getting fed a bunch of bullshit in a development system. Sure, he's down there training, doing some things, but Jelly Roll's a true
the
fan.
Shawn Michaels selling type of way.
He has been a fan his entire life.
That's true.
So he's watched this and he's had the conversations that the fans and people like me and you have had over that about how it should look, and he's actually trying to make it look believable.
Well,
that's a bigger issue here, I think, is they don't even know how to get this shit right in development. And you got a guy that has studied it from the outside. It says, yeah, this is how it looked when I fell in love with it. This is how I want to make it look.
But who's to blame with the trick part, especially, right? Is it Shawn Michaels and the way he does things over there? Because that's so reminiscent of a Shawn Michaels selling.
Yeah, it's just they're looking for them big facials. It's just stupid. But yeah, so Jelly's already selling better than development. He's better on the mic.
Oh, don't even go there. That's not even, you can't even compare him.
And he's going to bring in a ton of PR for this thing. Great exposure for all these guys. And I know people are like, oh, it's crazy, Randy. Yeah. And that's the other thing. When this match gets coverage across the board, he's going to be in there with people. Jelly Roll is going to be in there with people that look like pro wrestlers, that look like stars, and Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. Great visuals for this one.
Well, does this lead into singles matches in the future? Say coming up at Mania. I'm talking about between Jelly Roll and Logan Paul.
No.
And then obviously Orton and Drew possibly.
No, they're not doing anything like that. These guys are going to move on past this thing. This is a publicity stunt.
I can see Jelly Roll being in it for a bit longer than you think too, though, man. He seems to be enjoying himself.
There ain't no reason to go expose it to that. Maybe a Royal Rumble or something, but no, he ain't going to be single match at WrestleMania, man. But our big match for night one, the ring general Gunther against the old dog Pepsi Phil, CM Punk.
Pepsi Phil.
I guess what's some of the intrigue around this one? People talking about potential cash in. If we're going to find out how serious or if it was real, the injury to Seth Rollins, all of that.
He's disappeared. He's done a good job of
they kind of remove that, that thought, we do see the case each and every week, but we have began focused on Braun and Bronson. This match itself, is it doing a lot? Obviously great name value here. Gunther within the bubble, respected by many, great heel, hated by many. CM Punk, absolute one of the biggest names in the game. That sells itself. But the intrigue here, the story, even how we got this match, not so much about. I mean, there's not much going on with it.
There isn't, and that's what's sad because there should be a lot actually going for this match, and for whatever reason, I'm not as excited for it when I should be. But the truth of the matter is, Rick, I don't see Gunther losing anyway. I just don't see. It's not Punk's time yet to get that championship, and he doesn't even need it, dude. If anything, I think when he does get that championship run, it'll be at Mania when he does eventually win it, in my opinion. That
is the story. I hate prediction stuff like that or, guessing stuff. But if you're going to end this thing, I wouldn't be surprised if we do get at least Seth's music that throws CM Punk off of his game. And then Gunther can pick up the win. I don't think this ends clean. I don't think Punk doesn't need another just clean loss like that. Or he hasn't been losing clean, but I don't know. Just seeing Punk come out of, losing at the Saudi match for Cena's title. And then
cooled off a little bit, you think?
Because there's no heat behind the stories with him.
It's true.
You know, like that match there was just thrown together within like what, 10 days, 2 weeks notice.
And
And then
has it really been
and then
a build
here,
when you think about it?
and then this match here was just because he happened to draw the shortest straw in a gauntlet match. You know, he got to come in last and he just wins it. So I mean, there's been no, and obviously with Cena Punk, there's the history, but it happened so quick. There's no history.
Nah, it's been weak, man. And again, that's on WWE, but I don't even see him winning it. I'm starting to think that we might get a cash in though, because Seth is too quiet. I'm starting to think it's bullshit now, this injury.
Yeah, we might get a tease with it, but
because when you look back on it, dude, even when you look at the replays of when he got hurt, and you and I were watching it, actually, were we watching the watch along at the time?
I believe so.
Yeah, but anyway, we saw it. But when you look back on it, did it really look that bad?
Nah, I don't know again. So we'll see. To me, that's like the only intrigue in this one. So I mean, it's going to be a good match, you know. But where's my investment at?
No, it will be a good match, but why? You know, there hasn't been a proper build for this match for whatever reason. So yeah.
Coming up 10 minutes after that final bell in that main event, we're going to be talking about it tonight, Jimmy. So hopefully we will have some high praise for it, that they surprise us, and maybe there's a big headline. But that is your night one, just a few hours from now for SummerSlam. So let's shift gears here. We got a couple matches to run down. We already hit that main event for night two, Jimmy. Let's run down the undercard. Again, this night two, not as sexy on paper here, but this match could be a good one. Stole the show there at Evolution. We're going to get a follow-up of it. Naomi, who, God, I love it when they say that she ruined arguably one of the greatest women's matches of all time when she cashed in and interjected herself. I love that for that heat. Love that.
Oh,
Naomi,
it, bro.
The champion's going to be defending against Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. Triple threat for the Women's World Championship. I look at this thing. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. This could be bell to bell, probably the match that people are talking about after the weekend. I think the ladies are going to come out here and absolutely deliver this thing. But in the end, man, when I look at the Raw women's landscape, a lot of likable faces over there. A lot of them, a lot of the talents that the fans want to cheer for. But there's only really one good one that they love to hate, and it's Naomi.
Yeah, but man, everyone loves it deep down. They're giving you the respectful hate, if you know what I'm saying. It's hate, don't get me wrong, but it's likable hate if you get where I'm coming from. But she's killing it, dude. She's earned this spot. I was never the biggest Naomi fan.
Stop TikTok and trick talking after the damn shows. Stay the course, Naomi.
I think she will, dude. Surely. I mean, she has been pretty much. And, Naomi retains without a doubt. There's no way Rhea or Io is going to get the win. A lot of people still think Rhea's going to win. It's not. No, she's not. It's not happening.
It's like with Naomi right now and all those others on the chase, trying to, run down that just mean bitch that's one step ahead of everyone, that dirty chick that everybody's just sick of, that they all hate her. Io, I don't know where you go from here with it. I think she's had her time in the light right now. Just cool her off for a little bit. That's perfectly fine. Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know.
I can see where you're coming from though, because we really after this program, where do you go from there with her? Really?
Back to Japan. I can't cool her off for a little bit. Ripley, again, I think as we look going forward, where does this leave Ripley?
I think they're saving Ripley for the Australian pay-per-view, bro. It only makes logical sense for her to get her comeuppance in her own home country, right? I mean,
big selling point. So you get a lot of live
100%, dude. They did this last year with her.
PR.
Yeah, that's why. So I that's the only reason why I don't see her getting a win anytime soon, up until October when the pay-per-view's on here.
Could they maybe just spin off into Ripley versus Io without any kind of championship involvement and do the payoff of that's where Ripley finally gets a win over Io? Because they have been making a kind of a big point about that. That is the one thing that's eluded Ripley, is she has not beaten Io yet.
Possibly, but I'll give you another interesting thing. Me and Rhea share our birthdays on the same day, right? I know this doesn't mean shit, but I just want to point out the pay-per-view here, though, is also on her birthday.
There we go.
So it's her birthday. It's in Australia. They really love Rhea. Like, management really loves Rhea. And the way you was talking about, Unreal, I could see how much, because she's been like this even in the past. We've heard stories how Triple H always has to cuddle her, sort of thing, just to calm her down and keep her chill. Either you get that with Io Sky come Australia time, but I can see them giving her the championship here, dude. I think that's the best way to do it with her on her birthday in Australia.
Oh,
even though
I think they're
care.
gonna wait. They're gonna wait. I just, and it's too soon to take it off Naomi. And you've also got babyface Victor as the number one contender, waiting for the Clash in Paris for the champion.
Oh yes, that's next, isn't it?
Yes, that'll be your next big one coming up here
on
at
the
the
same
end
month.
of the month.
In the same month, I believe,
Yes.
right? August.
Yep, coming up at the end of the month there. So that will be our triple threat for our women's championship. We've got more women's gold on the line. Night 2. No disqualification, no count out, last chance match for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. That means if Becky Lynch wins, Valkyria can no longer challenge for the title as long as Lynch is champion. Yes, it is Becky Lynch defending her Women's Intercontinental Championship against Lyra Valkyria. This has got to finally be the blow-off. And I think that is the best part about this. I did read a headline that Becky might be getting some new music. Where does Bayley play into this thing? She's heated. She's missed 2 of the biggest shows of the year because of these 2. She's at a boiling point.
Is the bird the word in this?
I don't know, Jimmy. I
don't care. That's the problem.
I think I found my night 2 popcorn match of the night.
What's worse? What's more of a popcorn match?
This is going to be tough. I might have 2 of them for this one.
Well, look, man.
Who needs this one? I guess real brief on it, on the women's one. Who needs it?
I couldn't care less. Look, hate's a strong word. I cannot stand Valkyria, dude. Her and her bird can seriously just go away.
What was up with that god awful
that dance?
He's all up my Becky stompers, and then she does her little
well, dude. I know. Look, I better not say it. I was going to say she's Irish. You know what they say,
right? But I mean,
cheesy, you know what I'm saying?
I mean,
they are. They're
them throwing cheesy, the last bit of dirt onto this. I mean, I don't want to see any more of Lyra. I don't think there's. If you're going to,
I would have released her by now, straight up.
It might be coming.
Seriously.
So
you think I'm joking? I would have really released her. I'm like, get out of here, man.
Unless Becky is leaving, I just don't see why they would make a move here.
Do you think they'll keep the strap on Becky?
Unless she's leaving.
See, but there's always that possibility, so she can take care of her kid for a few months.
Well, Seth's at home, let him do it.
True.
Good
point. Well, we're all hoping that Lyra doesn't win, but that's what my brain is saying. But my heart is saying, but my brain is telling me that Lyra is going to win. You know what I mean?
Let's talk about the other popcorn match here. How about some TLC, the birthplace of tables, ladders, and chairs? Was SummerSlam. Of course, that was the iconic one with the Hardys, Edge and Christian, and the Dudley Boys. This time around, though, we've got the Wyatt Six versus Andrade and Phoenix versus DIY versus Fraxium versus the Motor City Machine Guns versus the Street Profits. That's 12 people. Hey, let's not forget, we're going to probably have
that'll be the opener.
Abby the Witch around ringside. We're going to have, this is Gargano. We're going to have B-Flop. So we've got all of these bodies are going to be out there. That's just a minimum of 15 that we're going to see get involved in this thing. Here's my predictions for this one. Are you ready?
I know what you're going to say. I bet. Go,
Let's see here. We got 15 people. We're going to have about 85% of this match with 7 to 8 to 10 of them all just laying around on the floor. Another 10% of this match.
Fish.
Yeah. Another 10% of this match will be unused said bodies using T's, L's, and C's as erector sets to build props for them for stupid spots.
God.
And the TLC in this one is actually going to stand for terrible, terrible, lousy, and crappy.
Whoa.
This tag division is so god awful. We've been talking about it this entire year. You and I started doing Smack Tag on the Super Bowl Sunday. We've been talking the same thing we have said every week, that it just seems to get worse and worse. I have given up hope here. This is not a case of this tag division is so bad, let's put an awesome gimmick on it that TLC is going to make the division better. No, the division is going to make TLC worse. This is probably going to be the worst TLC match in the history of WWE.
Jesus Christ, man. I don't know what I'm looking forward to now more, Lyra and Becky or friggin' this. Yeah, now Vet knows very well how I feel about multi-man tag matches, let alone a TLC one. But if you call it,
this is the entire crap division crammed into a crap. And the gimmick's not crap, but it's going to make the gimmick crap.
Well, they needed a gimmick for this. Let's be real. Otherwise, it really would have sucked. And it will suck, like you said. You called it, what was it, totally lousy and crappy?
Total losers, crap fest. I don't know, whatever you want to do with it.
For me, it's totally not liking at this point, crap, or whatever the hell. The point is, I don't care. I don't know. I want to know who wins. I really don't care who wins. If the Wyatts friggin' win, either way, any of these tag teams, even though the Street Profits,
I don't think the Wyatts are have to be the best choice here. They just want to. You just don't want to do a switch here, and no one else is. No one is leaving with these belts and making this division better.
Nobody, and unfortunately for the Profits, that includes you guys, because
you had your chance. They had their chance and failed miserably.
They failed miserably, man, and unfortunately, this should have been a pre-show match. I don't care who wins this match. I'm not even going to say who I think will win this match, other than probably the Wyatts will, like you said.
Didn't they even do this basically after WrestleMania when they got left off? They came out the next SmackDown and had a tables, ladders, and chairs match, or at least a ladders match for the tag belts.
Yeah, I think it was the go home show. They didn't have a match.
It was. It was the pre-show. It was when the Profits won the things or something.
Yeah, and they made a big deal out of it.
That's how memorable that was. Yeah.
Yeah, so I couldn't care less. The Wyatts 6 probably will win, but care factor is a big 0 at this point.
Yeah. So how about this one? Your boy, Jacob Fatu, going back after his goal. They're going to do it. He's going to hook up a Solo Sikoa inside a steel cage. Jimmy, do you like your boy, the Rabbit Wolverine, running wild without the championship, or do you think he's going to take down the My Family tree? Is he going to chop them down?
No, I think
wood, carry water.
He will still be chasing, I think, after this. I think keep the belt on Solo. The thing I hate about this cage match, what's the cage match designed for, supposedly? To keep everyone out, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you can just climb into it. You know what I mean? They needed a Hell in a Cell friggin' match.
No, a cage was actually designed to keep the opponents in.
Well,
because it was before, a real cage doesn't have an escape clause.
I guess not. Oh,
that was all WWE stuff. That was all WWE for the theatrics of climbing out over it. A traditional cage, it was meant that there was nowhere to run, and you were going to settle it inside of that.
True. That's true.
WWE and Sports Center changed it up with the escape clause. So, inside of that, I mean, you almost think, though, 4-5-2, and I think maybe that's the interesting dynamic into the story is for Fatu to do this, he's going to have to take Solo down by himself inside of that cage, because with Escape, he's got enough family members to cover the entire perimeter.
Well, you know what, dude? This is what I think it was Gus that brought it up. Could we, because Solo's got to have something up his sleeve to win, because that's just the way he wins generally. Could we get Jimmy turning on Jacob, possibly?
Could he join it? What's going to be my other one here with the intrigue? Where we find some interest? Do we grow the tree a little bit more?
Well, it makes sense. I mean, even though everyone's family other than the Tongans.
You would think at some point they're going to start running out of tan guys to start just putting in this family. But there's a lot of them out there.
Right, there is a lot of them.
We've got a Tala Tonga. We've got some Tonga Tongas. We need a dong. We need a shorter. We need a Donga Tonga. Bonga, whatever, man.
What about Donga Tonga?
This could be like
a dog.
Yeah, this could be like the new Dudley Boys.
Oh God,
sign guy Tonga.
Yeah,
that's why I got Donga Tonga.
Jimmy Chonga.
Jimmy Chonga, Jimmy Tonga. You might be. Are you catching the flight to Jersey for night 2? We're gonna have Jimmy Tonga.
I'm catching a supersonic flight to Jersey. What are you talking about? I'll be there in 2 seconds. Don't worry about that. But I don't know, man.
He's already there.
Yeah. Oh, look, like even T Cooper says Ting Tong Tonga, possibly. I mean,
astronaut strength, the Tang Tonga. We got it all.
We can go all sorts of Tongas right now, but I will say Solo will retain. We just don't know how. There's going to be shenanigans. That's the intriguing part for me. I just don't know how he's going to win it, but somehow he will win it.
Yeah, and again, they're going to be throwing everything against it inside the cage. We'll see if that adds to the intrigue. Hey, long time coming for this one. I think people are excited. I think this one's going to be a lot of fun. We've got to see a very entertaining side of AJ Styles in this build. Dirty Dom being just that low down, slimy bastard on the run. But finally, it is time. The doctors have cleared this thing. We're not doing this inside. We are bringing it to the States. The Intercontinental Championship is going to be on the line. Dominic Mysterio, Dirty Dom, defends against the phenomenal AJ Styles. I think, again, this one is going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to this one, and I got to admit, the fan in me, I want to pop big time to see AJ get this win.
He will, because it'll make sense on Judgment Day storyline overall. And when I say that, if you're going to have Raquel and Roxy lose their championships, you got to get Dom losing his. That puts Finn as the only one, and of course Big Head as the only champs. And I can see Finn rubbing it in. You know what I mean? Totally rubbing it in. Look, I'm still the champion. You guys have lost everything. Blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, AJ definitely gets the win. And also, it makes him a Grand Slam champion with that win. So, absolutely, man. AJ all the way.
Oh, we got Dominic. Guess he can be challenging for the Triple A Mega belt here in 2 weeks.
I could see him winning the championship there too, man.
Well,
that's
he
bro.
He looked good if he walked in there with that belt as well. But I'm letting out the fan in me this one. I want this one for AJ, man. I really do.
No, 100%, man. It's got to be AJ, and that includes me. It's the fan in me as well. But like I said, storyline-wise, if Raquel and Roxanne are going to lose their belts, then surely Dom will lose his also. Because, like I said, it just makes sense.
Let it all start crumbling down.
Exactly.
For the Judgment
100%.
Day.
100%. So, yeah, I'll stick with that for sure.
Yeah, so there we go. And we talked about the main event there. Cena and Cody, we already touched on. But that, ladies and gentlemen, little hype, 2 big nights of WWE, the biggest party of the summer, SummerSlam, coming at you. Is again, 10 minutes after the final bell. Both nights, Jimmy and I will be back here, Hameen Media Group YouTube channel, to do the review, the headlines, the talking points, the full breakdown of each night of SummerSlam.
Absolutely. And I just wanted to point out how Frank was saying Damien 666 helps Dom win. And what? And was the New Jersey Blonde? I don't understand what the hell you're on about, Frank. Talk English, bro. I don't know what you mean by that part. I get what you mean with Damien 666. But anyway, Did you see the damn iguana yesterday, by the way?
Loved it. Loved it.
You know what I wanted to quickly ask you? How the hell does he do a match either holding the damn thing in his hand or it's in his mouth the whole time?
He's a professional. He's an absolute professional.
I mean, it's
shame
impressive.
on commentary for not putting over Psycho Clown with the cool ripping off the
Psycho
one
Clown's
mask
awesome,
thing.
dude.
You know what?
Man.
You know, I had my notes about him. He's terrible. Facials suck. He's always just sitting there with his tongue hanging out.
Oh, that's the gimmick, bro. I mean, come on.
You're missing it. Went over your head. Over your head.
He looks bigger too suddenly, just quietly. But I don't know, man.
I enjoyed that match on SmackDown. I enjoyed it.
It was good. It was decent, actually. It wasn't bad. It was one of the better matches of the night. But in saying that, Rick, I guess we can wrap it up, right? So I know you've already said it, but tell them where they can find you at the very least. Not what you're doing.
Right here on the How Many Media Group channel. That's where you can find me all freaking weekend.
This guy is trolling already, God damn it. But if you want to follow him, you can. Just look up RBV on everything. I'm sure you'll find him on Twitter. On isn't RBV Eats?
Eats out.
Or Eats Out. There you go.
Out.
On the Instagrams. So yeah, go follow him there. But for me, you can follow me at the PWC Network, of course, and at DJ Mass Effects. And yeah, you can find me right here too later on tonight. So in saying that, Rick, this is weird because we're ending it just abruptly like that. But tune in later on tonight, 10 minutes after the event finishes. We're talking about SummerSlam. I don't know if
Brandon will have the watch-alongs. Brandon will have the watch-alongs, but do us a favor, man. If you can, grab the link to the night show. Go hit the copy the link. Go to your socials. Share it. Let's get a good crowd tonight.
100%. Rick, you just froze there for a split second. But yeah, keep sharing, keep subscribing, keep liking. It will really help us out a lot in saying that. But yeah, also watch Brandon with the watch-alongs. Are you going to jump on the watch-along at all? Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah, he wanted me to jump on, but it's better that I save that for the review show. So in saying that, I am Jimmy T. He is R to the B to the V, and you've been listening and watching the Smack Attack right here on Humming Media Group's YouTube channel, and of course on channelattitude.com after the fact. Till later, we'll see you soon. Peace.
If they want